Alright, I haven't totally decided if this is going to be the tail end of the old video or the start of a new video. There will be a new video, and I'll explain why in a minute. But it's been, at this point, 8 days. Just over 7 days in, so about 7 days and like 5 hours. The rebuild finally finished. So that took almost the full, well, so just over a full week. But the expansion actually went pretty quick. It was estimating about 24 hours. It went as high as 45 at one point. But here we are. Somewhere close to 24 hours. It finished a little bit ago, maybe 4 or 5 hours. Not real sure totally when it expanded. I can check the logs, but somewhere close to or within 24 hours, the expansion finished, which was nice. I thought that was going to take longer. I'm glad it didn't. So it got me 2.52 terabytes. So just about, 1.7, 1.8 as I would have expected was added. It was down to about, I don't know, like 800 and something. So that was nice. Currently transferring a bunch of stuff to it, that I've been kind of holding in the wings, because like I said, I didn't really want to transfer to it in case the transfer gets corrupted or stops, and makes the thing turn off like it usually does. That's usually an issue when it's got low capacity though, so it should be fine. But I wanted to make sure that was done before I really worried about it. So about not even an hour ago, I went ahead and started the expansion on the other server. Now that the old one's, secure and ready to go and protected. So we'll see how long that takes. It's probably going to be, 4 days or so. It's about what it took last time. And that was while it was doing a migration and then expansion. So I don't know if the expansion's also going to take a full 4 days or what the deal is. I think it was estimating capacity of like 106 terabytes versus the 83, versus the 94 that the other server has. Now granted, it's that at 7 or 8, probably with the new drive that is still reserved. So I'll probably end up with like, I don't know, hopefully like 98. Which will be a few terabytes bigger than the old server. And I might dig into that reserve space a little bit, because I don't want to have to get another drive for this thing super soon. And I'm still working on the migration project, so we'll see how quickly it starts filling up. But the goal is to go ahead and transfer everything else that isn't currently on the new server over. And then I can finally turn off the old server, let it rest for a bit, and have it kind of as a cold spare, so to say. Of course, it's been running for multiple years, so I don't know that, like, over a decade at this point. So I don't necessarily know that turning it off and turning it on randomly is really that great for it, but I don't know. I don't really need them both running either. Kind of defeats the purpose. So, other video. What's going on? Well, Amazon did their big deal days, Prime Days, whatever the hell they're calling it these days. And, of course, I bought some things. Not her. She was a replacement for something I've had for a long time from eBay. Haven't found her in forever. Finally found one. So that just came. But over there, we have a new projector. So, I've been looking at the Cosmos, the oval nebula. Well, I guess not. The Cosmos was the oval projector from Anker. And, it's always been like $900. Sometimes it would go on sale for like $699, refurbished. But, I've been trying to be a good boy. And, my old projector's been doing me fine. And technically, so I'm not talking about the Epson on the ceiling. I'm talking about my portable travel projector. We were traveling a little less, and it was fine enough. And then, but it was always kind of in my wish list. I was always kind of keeping an eye on it. I was also keeping an eye on this guy, the Nebula. Because it was newer, brighter, bigger, but it was like $2,000, which is obviously not what I wanted to do. And it would go refurbished for like $16.99 often enough. Sometimes I think as low as like $1,200. I think at one point I saw a deal for like $1,000, but I kept putting it off. It's like, do I really want to spend the money? Yeah, etc., etc. And then I saw this guy come out. This is apparently the SE. So this is actually a new projector. They just launched it. It starts out cheaper. I think its normal price is only $12.99. Now, at least that's the promotional price that they're starting with it. It may be more than that. You know, maybe 14 or 15 or something normally. But they pretty much have it listed for $12.99. And then often enough, there's a $200 to $300 coupon, which would take it down to like $10.99 or $11.99. And yeah, so I finally kind of sort of convinced slash coerced the wife into giving me sort of permission to buy it. You know, if it went to a decent enough price, or depending on how we felt. Like I said, we are sitting on a little bit of extra cash at the moment. So for Prime Day, they'd put another $60 off of it. So it was $260 off, so it would have been like $10.40 plus the 5% cash back because I use my Amazon Prime card, which is like another, I think, $88 or something, or $66, something like that. So I ended up getting it. Now, it's not quite as bright as the regular Nebula. It's a full 4K projector, allegedly. It didn't say anything about E-Shift or anything, but I mean, come on, for the price, it's got to be something going on. The other one's like 2200 lumens, but a couple downsides is apparently it had Android TV, which I knew, but apparently it was on a dongle. It wasn't actually part of the internals. It was on a USB dongle, which not a huge deal, but didn't really know that. This one has it built in. And it's not running the Android TV, it's actually running the newer, more recent Google TV. Basically the same thing that's in your Sony TVs and things like that. So it's built in, it's newer, it's a little less powerful. It's only 1800 lumens versus 2200 lumens. But it has better AI autofocus and screen matching, so it can actually find your screen and do 4-point keystoning and, autofocus and all the stuff that's kind of a pain on the other projector. You just basically hit a button, finds the screen, snaps it up, and it's good. The other one did that too, but this has a more advanced version of it. Like I said, it's got the built-in newer Google TV. Still has an external USB drive, so in theory, I should be able to plug in a hard drive to this and not have to even worry about bringing a shield, which would be kind of fun. And this is what they're claiming to be the first Dolby Vision capable projector. Now, I don't take too much stack into Dolby Vision. I'm perfectly fine with regular OLED HDR, especially, on a portable scenario in a hotel room on a not great screen. But supposedly this thing does Dolby Vision, which at the very least means it can interpret Dolby Vision signals. Now we'll see if it does that out of things like Kodi or Plex, versus just being Dolby Vision through Netflix or Disney Plus, things I totally don't care about. So yeah, so we'll play that with that. It was cheaper, has newer capabilities. It's HDMI 2.1 with eARC versus the other one that's just regular HDMI 2.0 with regular ARC. So it's a newer refresh. It's a lower price point. It's got a hybrid light engine, so it's both laser and LED. So I'm guessing it's a lower powerful laser, but they have the LED to boost it, and that's kind of where they're getting the HDR, because they can do greater light control from the various points. I don't think it was necessarily brightness. I think it's got a lower black floor. At least that's what I'm suspecting. I don't really know. I got it same day delivery. I've had it for 3 days, but with the new schedule at work, I don't really have a lot of time from when I get off work to when the wife gets home, and the last thing I want to do is run into the basement when she comes home when we're trying to do dinner and everything else to play with it. So it's currently Friday. I think I've had it since Wednesday or Tuesday. I think it was Wednesday though. so we will play with it this weekend. So my plan is to get it up and set up, see how it looks. Also, if I can figure out how to rig it, I'm gonna have the other projector, my current one, kind of next to it, how to do a side-by-side, and see, you know, how it compares to my now, like, 11-year-old 720p bulb projector from Dell Business. I assume this is going to be better in every way. First off, it's like 6 to 8 times the resolution, 720 versus 4K. It's going to be way easier to calibrate to the screens because the other one doesn't have a whole lot of controls. And it's got the built-in Google TV, which will be nice. It's got a nice carry handle. Although the other one has a case, so kind of same difference. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to playing with that. I'm assuming it's going to be brighter. I mean, first off, that other projector's on its original bulb, which again doesn't have a huge amount of hours on it, but is not new. And that's kind of the other reason I got this. Is like, I don't know how long that bulb's going to last at this point. I don't know that I'm going to be able to find a replacement bulb for a projector that old. Certainly not easily, and probably not cheaply. So I figured it was probably time. And hopefully it's an upgrade. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Just in ease of use, let alone image quality. We'll see if it's brighter. I would kind of assume that it should be. It supports HDR, which the other one totally does not. Didn't even know what HDR was. That was probably HDMI 1.4, if even that. It might even be 1.3 or 1.2 for all I know. But yeah, so a new toy to play with. Something video related again. Being how long this clip is in, I guess I'm officially calling this a new video at this point. So yeah, you got a quick server update, and then we'll hopefully have some video footage, and by the time I get down there and play with it and film it and all that, I'll probably have the server finished in the same video as far as its expansion. I still have the other hard drive sitting down here to send back to Western Digital. They still have not replied to any of my messages, so they're getting nasty feedback. I think I have till the 21st. It's currently the 11th. It's only $44. Worst case scenario, I keep the drive, add another 20 terabytes to the server. Not the end of the world. It would be nice to be able to return it, get a different 20 terabyte hard drive at some point in the future, and save the money. But right now, the 20 terabyte hard drives have all gone up in price. So, if I do it later, depending on how much later, I might end up spending the money anyway. So, I don't know. It's possible I end up keeping it. I don't even know if we're going to get to a shipping center between now and the 21st with our schedules and everything. I won't be heartbroken if we keep it, but it definitely was not the intention. But yeah, that's where we're at. I'm on lunch, which I've burned most of this doing this. So I'm going to grab a quick snack, see how much time I got, and then get back to work for the rest of the day. Spend more time talking to you and putzing around than I realized. I only have 6 minutes left. Probably not getting a snack. Oh well. Day's more than half over, so just eat when I get off, I guess. Well, no idea where we are on videos at the moment. I think this is a new one. I still haven't shown you guys the projector yet. We'll get there someday, with comparisons and everything else. Probably, anyway. But that day is not now. So it is past the 21st. I was supposed to take the other hard drive back on the 21st, and I didn't because of life events. So I guess I'm keeping it. I did the math. Like I said, it's only about $44 more than it should have been, at the time at least. Right now, you can't even really find the 20 terabytes, and the ones that you do find are in like $20 or $30 more than they were, so it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. The life events kind of took priority anyway, so I haven't put it in yet. The last resync for the main server, the expansion of the new one rather, took actually 8 days. So it took a full 7 plus like half of a third, or well, eighth. So over a week, which not ideal, but I mean it's fine, especially once, you know, the data's already protected and redundant since we're not replacing any drives. So there's not a lot of risk there. It does take me from 8 drives to 9 drives, which is going to throw off my balance, you know, for the lights, but, you know, whatever. At least I'll have another, you know, 18 terabytes added to the 7. We're down to 7.18. That's not quite where it's at, because I still haven't really cleared out the extra, you know, files from the 1080 upgrades. I have everything updated through F, and all the animated. I'm still going through and, you know, putting them in their place, renaming them, deleting the old ones, and I haven't cleared the recycle bin yet. So that'll go actually a little up a bit. But everything's moved over now, so the other server, every file that's on it, as far as I know, I still need to double check, is on the other server. So we went from 94 to currently 100 terabytes. Again, that's, you know, not completely accurate. There's 6 terabytes of reserved space, so it's technically 106 versus 94. But it's been a few days, probably more than a week at this point, since the last RAID expansion. I didn't want to do them back to back, because first off, I wasn't sure I was keeping the drive at that point. And two, I wanted to give it a break. You know, I don't like running the things for, you know, 8 days pegged, let alone 16 days pegged. So I wanted to give it a break in between. But it's been enough. I'll probably check that in here today or tomorrow, probably. So life events. Last Thursday, so it is currently Saturday the 26th, so more than a week ago at this point, we lost our grandmother on my wife's side. So her name was B. She has passed. She was 95. She's shown, you know, she's got no complaints, but obviously, you know, she was definitely loved and is missed by my wife and her mom pretty extensively. She had been living with the mother-in-law for a bit. When she moved out of her own place, you know, she got older, around her 90th birthday, I think, 91st, somewhere in there. It was around 2020 when we all moved together. So I guess she was like 91, 92 at that point. So her mom is definitely been needy and needs attention, so she's been coming over and hanging out pretty much every day to some capacity, which kind of works out, because my wife has had some issues. This is getting personal, but, you know, it's fine. It's good enough for the 3 people that watch this. About a month ago, she started developing seizures, or at least what we think are seizures. We're still in the process of getting that looked into. You know, we had dropped the insurance to try to cover her student loans, and plus we were not really utilizing the, you know, visits and such, so we were spending more on the insurance than the visits would have cost us based on our needs at the time. Of course, this was pre my diabetes and everything else. So we're trying to push off some of the expenses of getting it fully investigated until until January. We are reapplying for the insurance, or you know, through her employer, because it's open enrollment. So between my diabetes and now her ongoing neurological issues, I guess it'll actually be saving us money to go with the insurance. Plus her mom's kind of insistent on it, and, you know, she may be helping with it, so whatever, it's fine. And her loans are back on hiatus while they figure out the whole legal ramifications of what they're doing with the SAVE program and everything else. So I guess we're just switching the loan payment back to the insurance payment, because they're pretty comparable, at least for right now. So day-to-day shouldn't really affect us too much, and that's coming out of her pile of money, not my pile of money, or our pile of money, I should say. So it doesn't really affect my side of the finances, which is pretty much everything. I basically take care of my stuff plus most of the joint things. You know, the rent, utilities, all of our loans. The only thing she's really responsible for is her PayPal and her Amazon. So I do get most of her funds as a result of, But she has enough money to play with. She should be alright. We were planning to go to Frankenmuth and Bronner's before the passing, and we all kind of decided we still want to do that. Get out of the houses for a bit and, you know, have some fun holiday family time. So that's actually coming up in like 2 weeks. Of course, some of that time is going to be unpaid because I only have enough time off for 2 days. We're taking 3. My wife had enough time for at least 3 of the days. She actually underestimated, so she was going to be short one anyway. But now when she had to call in to get her neurological appointment, that took a day, so she's actually going to be missing 2 days of work. We did go to the emergency room after one of the episodes because she was unresponsive. It was kind of scary. So we got that bill in. So that was only $1,100. Only. We didn't admit because we didn't want it to be significantly more than that, so bad enough, and we didn't really get much out of it, but at least it's manageable. Sounds like she's going to be able to take care of that on her own. So yeah, that's where we're at. I'll be expanding the server here momentarily. Oh, and I guess kind of, you know, jumping back and forth here a little bit, sorry. But, so as a result of the neurological issues, we did get her prescribed some meds, which is helpful. But you're not supposed to drive for 6 months after a seizure, especially when they're uncontrolled, which, you know, at this point, they really aren't. She hasn't had any more episodes since the visit to the ER and the starting of the medication a few days after that. So crossing fingers it's working. But once we get the insurance kicked in and the year kicks over, we're going to follow up, actually do a full MRI and EEG and all the stuff to kind of physically and fully diagnose her. But, you know, again, we'll have the insurance at that point, so, you know, it's still going to cost money because we have to hit our deductible and our out-of-pocket maximums, but not to mention the premium. But it's important to get her checked out and get her healthy. But yeah, so she's not driving to work, which, you know, I work at home, she does not, so that's kind of problematic. So, between her mom needing some attention and wanting to get out of the house, and my wife now needing a chauffeur, she's semi-moved in, so she's in the spare bedroom. Basically, she comes here, picks up my wife to take her to work, then goes back to her house, does whatever, comes home with her at 11:30, 11:45 when she gets off, spends the night, because that's pretty late for her to be driving home alone, especially. She doesn't have the best night vision at this point. She's, you know, in her 70s herself, I believe. So she'll spend the night and then take my wife to the morning, to work in the morning, and then she goes home and does her thing. So she's here, you know, basically overnights, which is an adjustment, especially she keeps bringing one of the dogs over because, you know, he needs attention too. So our cat is not thrilled with the idea, but they are starting to tolerate each other. I wouldn't say they're warming up to each other, but they're at least, you know, there's no aggression. He just, our cat doesn't want to deal with it, so he just kind of avoids the situation. And the other, you know, the dog kind of clings to his mom, so he doesn't really run around the house or anything. He's more or less a good boy. But all of that's causing some challenges. I had 3 days of bereavement, so at least the 3 days I took off last week, well, 1 last week, 2 this week, were paid. My wife also had 3 days of bereavement, so at least we were able to take some time to support the family without really losing any pay over it, which is helpful because we don't really need to lose more money at the moment. But yeah, that's kind of a family personal update. We'll get going on this migration or expansion here with the server. I already got the hard drive. I can't return it at this point, so I might as well throw it in the server and make use of it. Give this some more space to breathe with. You know, I still have G through Z for the 1080p update, and then, you know, I can start maybe potentially looking through the TV series. You know, there are stuff that I only have partial seasons or some of the seasons of a particular show run. Some of them are pretty old and pretty banged up copies of things. So, you know, I may dabble in upgrading some TVs and finalizing some series, checking out some things that were critically acclaimed that I never really got into. So that'll be a new project, probably months down the road from now at least. You know, focus on the movies first. Keeping up with new releases. Saw Wild Robot, that was pretty good. We enjoyed that. Every time we try to watch a movie downstairs with the mother-in-law, this thing freaks out. Like, the Shield has some issues when we're watching, but for the most part, especially now that I've switched to using Plex, it's better. But every time the mother-in-law's over here, it's acting its worst, and we can't even get through a movie without cutting the screen out every couple of minutes. It's so irritating. I don't really know what's up with it. I'm tempted to get a new Shield. I keep trying to see if there's anything better, but there really isn't for what I do. Outside of running like a personal media server or something, everything else is either inferior in some way or designed for other things, like, you know, its own media library, not using like a Plex server or something. I'm not sure if I mentioned it. I think I finally did. One of the things I did about a month ago was they had the lifetime Plex Pass on sale, so I finally got a Plex Pass. I think I did mention this. I went over to the mother-in-law's house, set it up there. It works. It streams movies, but they look like crap. They don't look like original quality, and obviously the 4Ks aren't going to be because their internet probably can't handle it. But even the 1080s don't seem as good as they do over on my end, so I don't know what's up with that. I mean, good enough for them. They're not going to care, but I definitely noticed it. And then, you know, like I said, my parents, it would be nice to be able to get them on it just so they have access to movies, and they're probably not going to care about the quality either. I mean, they have a 1080p TV, for God's sake, still. But none of their hard work can run Plex at this point, so oh well. And for me, you know, we're going to be still mostly traveling with hard drive, so I can, you know, not have to rely on an internet connection, especially a hotel internet connection, to stream media. So I mostly got it just because of like the trailers and some of the other features it can do, and I figure it's only going to go up in price. Might as well grab it now for lifetime while it's on sale and call it a day, whether I'm really utilizing it or not. Plus, I wanted to check out like Plex photos and Plex amp and stuff, which seemed pretty cool in their own right. But let me move on and start getting this hard drive updated. I might do it tomorrow. I really don't feel like having the server be doing that much disk activity, especially when I'm in the middle of reorganizing and renaming some files and stuff like that. The old server is at 1.18. It still needs some stuff copied over to it, but you know, it's buggy now, so I gotta be real careful when I copy and keep a close eye on it. And I don't want to do that when they're watching TV, because it makes basically the file stop on the playback. So that's gonna be full before we know it, and then I'm not really planning on expanding it, not unless 22 terabytes drop in price to some really good deal. And even then, I'm not sure I want to put it through all that effort and strain just for a few more terabytes of space. You know, at most we're talking another, there's 3 in there now, so there'd be another like 5.2, 5.4, something like that added, if I did the remaining 3s. Though, I already have the 1, so that takes me to 9. 3 more 20s from the old server would take me up to a full population on the new one, full 12 bay. So maybe there's a reason to do it. We'll see. But that's like another, they're $299 pretty regularly right now. So it's a little like $900. Definitely not a priority right now. I just repaid off everything after some Christmas shopping expenses. Yes, I know it's early, but we're both pretty much done at this point. The only one we really had gifts left for is, ironically, the person who just passed. So outside of maybe a few things she's getting for me, I'm pretty much done. I got her enough stuff at this point, unless I see something ridiculously cute. And then we'll have the rest of our Frankenmuth expenses. Half the hotel is paid for as a deposit, still have the other half, and then whatever we actually buy in shopping. But her mom's coming, so, you know, she likes to pick up a lot of the tabs for some of our other things, so we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into her finances because I don't really know anything about them at this point. But yeah, so more hard drive space, and I'm not returning the drive, so yay, I guess. And then, like I said, we'll get into a projector, you know, probably another video at this point, because this one's already kind of long and now kind of depressing. And I have no idea when I'm going to actually, like, be down there capable of filming the projector and doing comparisons and all that. You know, with the extra people in the house and the work schedules and traveling and everything else. Then Christmas decorations, I'm going to be putting up Christmas trees before you know it. You know, we need to start kind of pre-Thanksgiving, especially that we have 4 trees, and potentially thinking about, no, sorry, 3 trees, potentially thinking about a 4th, full size. We have a little tree too. No, I guess it is 4 trees with the outside ones already, so 3 indoor, 1 outdoor, and then plus potentially 1 more indoor. But I'm sure we could do some Christmas cheer around here a little earlier than usual, so I haven't picked an exact date yet. Obviously, I gotta be able to put Halloween away first. But I'm thinking like 2nd, 3rd week of November at the latest, we'll start getting Christmas out. So I don't know that the projector stuff's gonna happen before the next year. We'll get to use it on the trip to Frankenmuth. That'll be its first kind of outside the house run. I've just kind of played around with it. It looks pretty good. By itself, it looks fine. Again, I haven't really compared it to anything. But it's bright enough. The auto screen fit works reasonably well. It can't fit the screen that's down there because I can't get it far enough back and at the right height because the couch is in the way. It doesn't have anywhere near the lens positioning capabilities that the Epson does. But I don't mind it. And you know, going from 720 to 4K would be pretty beneficial. It does not run the hard drive. It does have Google TV built in. But I plug on the hard drive that we travel with and it says not compatible, so without having to format it, which I don't want to do. And then it's tied to that device forever, so I don't even know how I would get movies onto it at that point. But yeah, we're just gonna keep running the Shield. And yeah, maybe I'll get another one just to have an extra and to replace the one downstairs, see if that makes it behave better. At least it'll roll it out as a component, and then I can start troubleshooting other stuff, but I'm not replacing the projector or the amp anytime soon, so yeah, I don't know what the solution to that is. But anyway, this is long, and that's all I got for you for right now, so I'm probably gonna post this. I haven't even made live the other videos I've put up, let alone edited any of the stuff I filmed with the server update. So that's a whole other project I gotta work on too, and I'm just not in the mood. And I don't really see the need or the desire. It's not like they're monetized or anything, so we'll get there eventually. I would like to at least get the laser show posted. I believe it's updated. I just haven't edited the description yet. So yeah. Anyway, see you later. Halloween decorations and Christmas decorations inbound soon, I guess. I'll probably film the Halloween decorations tomorrow. Right now, it's the weekend. My wife's working this weekend, and I'm off this weekend, so this is the first time I've been alone for like a week and a half now. And it's the last time I'll be alone for probably another 2 weeks. So, and yeah, I don't mind. I like having them around. I just, sometimes I want some me time. So I'm not gonna film with them around too, so yeah, I guess I'll have to do the decorations tomorrow. It'll be fitting since we're like 3 days from Halloween. Or 4 days. Alright, so yeah, you'll have that to look forward to. You'll probably see the Halloween video before you're anywhere near caught up with this. So, enjoy that, I guess. And catch you later. Again. Alright, well, the other video actually isn't that long. And I did end up splitting them into 2 parts. Just kind of watched all the footage, so I kind of know where we're at this point. And there are some things I wanted to kind of address or catch up on that I haven't kind of finalized. So, all the previous videos are all live now. So the laser show, a street organ sample from our trip to Holland, and the first server video where I actually got the new server and started setting it up are all live now. They were uploaded a bit ago, but now they're finally, you know, described and in the YouTube playlist. There is footage of a riverboat trip we took while in Holland. I'll probably get that on the channel at some point, but I haven't done anything with that yet, so I'm not overly worried about it. And it's just, you know, basically us talking while we're taking the boat out to the lake and back. So nothing too exciting. Definitely not home theater related, so that'll go on the channel eventually. But so we got a new video that this one that I'm gonna just kind of watch through real quick and make sure, you know, I got all the clips in the right spot, and then publish it, or at least upload it. Probably publish it soonish, although maybe not. Who knows? I just posted 3 today, so it may wait a minute. You know, next weekend or something. We'll see how it goes. And then I have the clips for the second part, or so basically the video you're watching now. I just watched all that, so I definitely am going to split it up, and it didn't seem like it's too long yet, so we'll definitely still do the projector stuff as a separate video. It's 7 o'clock now on Sunday. Got about 4 hours before everyone's back home. It should be dark enough either in here or very shortly. So I'll probably go outside here in a minute and film the Halloween decorations, get that done. Because we did decide on a time frame to kind of switch that from Halloween to Christmas, so I'll cover that in this little update too. Which, you know, my little updates are like 12 minutes long. But just to go through my little notes here, Seagate finally did respond to my messages after I set up the return. And they said, per their policy, they do not do any kind of price matching. So I will either return it or keep it for full price. They have no interest in doing anything beyond that, which seems dumb because it was free shipping both to and from. So they're going to probably lose most of what they would have given me back in cash and shipping. But it's a done deal. You know, I'm past the return window because of events. I wasn't able to return it, even if I kind of had been wanting to. So, whatever. I'm still probably going to leave them bad feedback because it should not take them that long to get back to me. They never acknowledged my initial cancellation request. It was a mess from the beginning. I mentioned kind of mandatory overtime and how I was going to have all this extra money, but I never really touched back on that, like a couple videos at this point. So we had the mandatory overtime for the first week. They had said they were going to have it for the second week. It didn't affect me because I was in training. But they actually recalled that overtime. They actually canceled it. And they haven't talked about overtime since. So I'm sure it's probably coming again, you know, around Black Friday, heading into the holidays. I assume they're going to reauthorize overtime and or make it mandatory, but I haven't heard anything about it since. So maybe, but I've been working kind of my normal hours. If anything, my checks have been a little light because, you know, I had called in one day to go to the doctor with the wife, and then I actually would have been short day the following week because of another appointment, but that ended up getting converted into bereavement, so this next check should actually be fine. And I believe it's going to have my incentive payout from last month. And maybe the check after, I'm not totally sure. There are 3 checks this particular month, depending on how you look at it. It's either this month or next month. Technically, I get paid on Friday, but I see the money on Thursday. So this last month was 3 Thursdays. This next month is 3 Fridays. So depending on how you look at it, either way, there's an extra check involved. But yeah, so overtime in and of itself, not so much, which is fine because I'm not really in the mental space to put more hours in, and I certainly, you know, the wife doesn't want me to put more hours in. She wants me to be home with her. We haven't even carved our pumpkins yet. We did go to the pumpkin patch that we like last weekend, I believe. Kind of a fun family activity, give the mom a distraction. We were going to go anyway, but we invited her. Donuts and cider and some pumpkins. So we have 3 pumpkins. She's apparently going to carve one too. We're supposed to do that this coming Monday, so tomorrow at this point, which will be the 28th. Pretty late to carve pumpkins, but you know, it's mostly just as an activity to do. They don't really have to stick around that long. They usually don't last that long anyway. So that was that weekend. So yeah, I'm glad the overtime was canceled, but again, I can't really be staying extra if we're gonna be doing, you know, that and getting decorations and stuff like that ready. They did fix my schedule, so that second training I was talking about, they figured out, yeah, you obviously don't need that, and they did put me back to my normal schedule, so I never had to shift. I just stayed on my second shift schedule the whole time. No new training yet. They're talking about the next one maybe being like mid to late, well, probably not late, probably early to mid-December, for the coverage agreements. So basically right now I'm in wallet and pay. So as far as like the digital wallet for a phone brand, and then things with the related pay aspect of that and their credit card. The next one's going to be the agreement administration. So basically, like, it's, canceling, removing, transferring the coverage agreements for the warranties, things like that. And then after that, it's going to be tier 2, which will probably be sometime next year. So that's fine. I'm liking my second shift schedule. That's going to be through the end of October. Is it October or November? I think it's through the end of October, and then I think we do a new bid for November. But don't quote me on that. I think I started the schedule in September, though. Or was it? No, it was end of September. So no, October and November should be set. So end of November, or mid-November, we'll do a bid for December, January. So I'll be on this through Thanksgiving. Don't know what's up for Christmas yet. Moving on to other stuff. Like I said, these updates are never short. 7.5 minutes into what was already a goodbye video. I do have another semi-related project to the whole upgrade moving things. You got, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 spindles of CDs, some 50s, some 100s. A lot of them are movie backups. Not all of them are. Some of them are just general data backups, music backups, things like that. Some applications, but a good chunk of it is movies. So not only do I not really feel the need to have these on CD anymore, I don't even have a computer plugged in right now that can read them. Technically I do. The all-in-one that got moved downstairs does have a built-in CD drive. And I do have a tower that is nearby that's not plugged in, but it's basically the same age as the all-in-one that I was going to use to kind of go through these. So I'm probably going to pull that back in here. I pulled it, it was in here under my desk down here, but I'm not supposed to have extra computers in this office. And they do video inspections monthly, but they never, like, I've been through a few of these now, and they never like look on the floor or anything. So I'm probably going to bring it back and set it back up in here so I can go through these. I'm going to just start throwing them away, because first off, like I said, I don't have an active CD drive. The movies were redundant in 3 or 4 places at this point if I keep them on both servers. Plus the servers themselves have parity, and a lot of these have been replaced with 1080 or will be replaced with 1080. So these files are even more useless. And kind of as a relation to that, we're talking about kind of moving in together. So basically me and the wife are going to take the mother in. She isn't overly happy staying in the house where she was staying with her mom, and I don't want to get into her personal life, but her current living situation is not something she wants to maintain. So she's looking to move on, and we're kind of the best option. Plus she's, starting to get up in years. Eventually she's going to need some level of extra care and support, or at the very least emotional support. And then, we're supposed to be inheriting whatever house she lives in anyway, so it would have been the current house, but, that's not an ideal house for us. So we're going to look for a house together. She was thinking next summer. We just re-signed our lease. We signed our lease like 6 months in advance here because this place is crazy. So we're technically committed through like August of 26. 2026, not like August 26th. So that's probably a lot later than she was originally thinking, but it's going to take us time to, kind of accrue finances, get our debt load paid down, mentally prepare to move. We're not going to be ready by this August. No way in hell. Certainly not. Don't want to commit to that now. You know, it's possible, but if we haven't even started the process. We haven't even totally informed everybody involved. So we're just not going to be ready. Maybe we'll break lease a little bit. I want overlap anyway. I want to be in the new place at least a month or two while we still have access to this place to really kind of help move some of the more delicate things. Just to kind of spread it out because there's just so much stuff. And, you know, to take the theater down and re-put all the like switches in and replace the thermostat and the doorbell, all the modifications they've made, it's going to take me forever. So I definitely need some overlap. So, you know, maybe early to mid 25, you know, March, April-ish. Moving in August isn't really ideal anyway. So there's that at least. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, so the reason I bring that up, I wanted to anyway, but part of it is to start reducing some stuff that we don't need. These are not things I need anymore. I'm tired of carrying them around. I haven't opened these spindles or looked at these CDs since they were in Florida. So at least like 7 or 8 years at this point. I don't need them. They're taking up space. It's something I can start getting rid of. So that's going to be a project. Anything that's written on, which should be most of them, I should be able to just kind of look and decide I can get rid of them without having to actually insert them into a drive. Some of them are not going to be labeled or labeled fully, so I'll have to take a look at that. And then I've been wanting to look at these CDs for a while anyway, 12 minutes in, to make sure that there's not stuff on here that's not on hard drives. You know, some of this, or at least not on a hard drive I have easy access to. You know, I have CDs that are just full of my MIDI files. Do I really need my MIDIs or my mods? Not so much, but in nostalgia, we like to hang on to them, and I want to get them on the server. You know, on the redundant drives. So anything that I do need data-wise, I still want to copy off the CD, assuming I can even read these. You know, CDs do rot over time. So that's the other thing, is I want to get this data other places before the CDs die if they haven't already. So I'll get them on the server, and I'm still going to toss them. So I want to get rid of anything that I've burned personally. I'm probably not quite really ready to get rid of like my actual production or commercial DVDs. So like, you know, I have the Jackass games. So I have a whole bunch of those, or like my Encarta CD from like 97, you know, crap I probably can't even run anymore. But anything that's like a legit retail CD, I'll probably hang on to, at least for now. You know, my Legacy of Time and Buried in Time games. Some of which, you know, I have digitally on like GOG and stuff like that, but I want to hang on to those for now. I wouldn't say I'm a hoarder or a pack rat, but there's definitely stuff I hang on to that I don't necessarily need. Like, you know, all these books that are over here that I haven't looked at in forever. I like having them. You know, eventually I might do something with them. So, you know, there's some stuff that makes moving difficult that I could get rid of, but I don't want to. But yeah, so that's another project that kind of coincides with the upgrade project. I was going to get rid of them even if, you know, I wasn't updating the movies, but if I'm not even using those files in circulation, then I certainly don't need them on CD as a backup. Still haven't switched most of the clients on the TVs to the new server yet, even though the server is kind of supposed to be the new primary. The only thing that it really is still Plex on the NVIDIA Shield in the basement for the projector. I still need to get into the TVs themselves and get into like switching Kodi over and making sure. I can't even install Plex on the Sony because the Sony, his internal memory is full, and I can't delete enough apps to make room, at least apps that I want to use, because a lot of them are built in. So basically I need to delete the Kodi data. I'm not even going to have it bother index this next time. We had it indexing so we can at least like try to search by actor or year. Not that we ever do that. Now I'm just going to rely on Plex for that. So, you know, I can delete it's 2 gig of pictures and metadata for these movies, and there's not enough storage in the TVs to really handle that. The Shield can kind of handle it, but I'm just going to, you know, get rid of it. Like I said, I'll still use Kodi as a backup or as an alternate to Plex, but I'm not gonna run it. I'm not gonna run stuff to the library. We'll just use it as a file browser. So I need to delete that so I can get Plex installed on there. I should be able to get Plex on all the other TVs. I do have it on my office TV, but I hardly ever use that one. Don't tell the wife. She knew I was going to use it, but I wanted a TV in here and it was a good deal. So that's my 47? I think it's a 47-inch LG C1 OLED. So that's something still need to do. I need to kind of do it when nobody's home. So, you know, after work one day or on a weekend. But I'm running out of weekend. You know, like I said, it's about 7:30 now, or by the time I'm done with this video anyway. I'm gonna go film the Halloween decorations and, you know, work on that stuff. And just work on my data, maybe play some Hearthstone. So I don't really intend or think I'm gonna get into the TVs to rearrange files at this point. I'm also in the middle of helping her mom switch phones. She's joining our phone plan, so I got her a Google Fi and she's got a Pixel 8a, so we're still kind of in the middle of setting that up. Almost done, I promise. So I did find out something about Plex. Remember I was saying that you couldn't really put an IMDb like title or ID in the metadata to have it pull like TV movies, and it's really bad at TV movies. Well, apparently I believe it's exclusive to Plex Pass, which I do have now, although don't quote me on that part. You actually can force IMDb title match, but you don't do it in the client for whatever reason. Apparently it's part of the file naming scheme. You can actually add a tag to the file name, or like a syntax to the file name that'll pull the actual IMDb title. So that'll be nice. I don't know when I'm going to get to do that for the handful of TV movies I got, but at least that'll be able to do that. I did miss one thing in the upgrade into 1080, which will probably be my next folder. Like I said, right now I just finished D through F, and I was going to start H, G, H, I guess. But instead of that, considering it's almost November, I am going to pop in and do Christmas first. Christmas shouldn't take that long. There's only a couple hundred movies in there. I started getting 4K last year, so some of those are already upgraded to 4K. A lot of them are already 1080. But I'm going to go ahead and go through and grab the ones that I need and get that done before I move on to the next movie directory. And then, so last thing is the decorations and Christmas plans. So basically I decided, we have, this weekend just ended. Halloween is like in 4 days on, I think, Thursday. Yeah, it looks like it's Thursday. So that weekend, which is technically the first week of November, we'll start pulling stuff in. Certainly the inside stuff. Start making some room, you know, for where Christmas is gonna go. And then maybe start working on the outside stuff too, so I can I'll have less to do kind of later in the process. And then the following weekend, which is the weekend right before Bronner's, we're doing Frankenmuth and Bronner's on Monday and Tuesday. So that's the previous Saturday, Sunday, assuming I have energy. We'll start pulling out the Christmas stuff. So I want to get at least the trees up and possibly lighted. Start putting some of the indoor stuff in, so then when we come home with the ornaments or whatever it is else that we buy, they can just go right on the trees. And that's, you know, not that early. It'll be, what, 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, and then they'll be up for all of December. Like I said, it'll be nice to have some holiday cheer around here. So yeah, Christmas will be up in less than 2 weeks. Hopefully I'll have all the server videos and stuff updated by then. 20 minutes in for one clip. This is going to be by far my longest single clip ever. So yeah, we'll get that all updated so the Christmas and Halloween decorations can kind of go up. This one should be edited and at least uploaded, which is the previous one from the one you're watching now, today. This one that I'm filming now, I will probably edit, which is just putting the clips together. I really don't put a lot of effort into these, which is why I can't be mad I have no subscribers. Whatever, it's fine. I do these largely for me, like I said, and whatever family stumbles upon them. This one will probably get at least edited and maybe uploaded today. Also, depending on how it goes, I don't think I'm going to actually publish either of these today. We'll see. The descriptions are pretty easy once I just copy from the previous one. But either way, I'm definitely want to film Halloween today because I don't really have any other time to do it. I guess I could do it after work one day in the very small window I have before they come home. I have less than an hour from the time I get off to the time she comes home. But I'd rather do it today, especially since the weather's probably doing alright. And that'll go up probably tonight. I should be able to throw that together relatively easy. But that's all I got. This is definitely going to be the end of this for now. Between the last video and this video and the video before that, that's enough server stuff to maintain everybody for a bit. I'll give you an update on how long the next migration takes whenever I actually start it. I still haven't started it yet. In whatever, probably Christmas update, or maybe when I start doing the projector stuff. But that's going to be a while. But yeah, that's all. Thanks for sticking with us. And then I will have more information eventually. But I just wanted to kind of close some topics off and fill you guys in on some things that I haven't really more than touched on. So that should bring closure to everything that's been mentioned in the last couple of videos, kind of like I did previously. So everything should be tip-top and buttoned up now. That's all I got for you. And then let me go ahead and get this rendering and run outside and go get the decorations filmed. See you later.